Have you ever felt that there's more to this life than what your eyes can see? That somewhere within you lies a deeper awareness, a higher perception waiting to awaken? The ancient yogis of India spoke of a mystical eye, not a physical one, but a spiritual gateway hidden within your forehead, known as the third eye. Paramhansa Yogananda, the great spiritual master who brought yoga and meditation to the West, described this eye as the sacred doorway between human consciousness and divine wisdom. And when this third eye begins to open, your entire experience of life changes in ways you may never have imagined. You no longer merely see objects, people, and events. Instead, you begin to perceive energies, intentions, and the unseen forces guiding every moment. Yogananda explained that awakening the third eye reveals the true nature of reality, that beyond the physical world lies a field of divine light, peace, and unbroken joy. Through this eye, you glimpse your own eternal soul, untouched by birth or death. In this video, guided by Yogananda's own words and teachings, we'll explore what truly happens when your third eye opens. What are the first signs? How does it feel? How does your mind and heart begin to transform? And most importantly, how can you gently awaken this sacred perception within yourself? Whether you're a seasoned meditator or a curious seeker beginning your journey, this knowledge will light a new lamp within your soul. So, stay with me, dear friend. For what you're about to discover is not mere philosophy, it is the living truth of your own inner divinity, waiting patiently to be remembered. Within each one of us lies a sacred doorway, often forgotten in the busyness of daily life. The ancient yogis called this center the Ajna Chakra, known more commonly today as the third eye. But what is it, truly? Paramhansa Yogananda beautifully described it as a divine perception, a subtle center of awareness located at the point between the eyebrows, which acts as a window between human consciousness and the infinite spirit. It is not a physical eye, nor something visible with ordinary sight, but a spiritual organ of vision that awakens when the soul turns inward in meditation. Yogananda said, "The spiritual eye is a luminous gateway through which the soul passes into higher states of consciousness." In deep states of meditation, when the mind becomes still and breath slows to a gentle whisper, this eye reveals itself in the form of a radiant light. Yogis across centuries have described it as a bright, blue-white star, shining brilliantly in a field of deep indigo, surrounded by a golden halo of divine light. It is a vision so vivid, so alive, that no dream or imagination can match it. This third eye is the seat of intuition, the power that allows one to perceive truth directly, without the need for reasoning or physical senses. When awakened, it allows the seeker to experience realities beyond the ordinary world, to sense divine presence in all beings, to feel peace amid chaos, and to witness the hidden currents of life itself. Most people live their entire lives unaware of this divine faculty within them. But Yogananda assured us that through sincere practice, pure intention, and deep meditation, this inner eye can be opened, offering the seeker a direct experience of their own eternal nature. When the third eye begins to awaken, it does not always announce itself with grand visions or dramatic supernatural experiences. Paramhansa Yogananda lovingly explained that the signs of this awakening are often gentle, subtle, and deeply personal. They appear like the first faint light before the dawn, soft glimpses of a new inner world quietly revealing itself. And yet, for the sincere seeker, these early signs carry immense significance. Yogananda taught that during meditation, one might begin to feel a slight warmth, tingling, or subtle pressure between the eyebrows, as if a delicate current of energy has started to gather there. At times, a cool, soothing sensation may replace it, bringing with it an unexplainable calmness and comfort. These are not random bodily sensations but the earliest stirrings of awakened awareness. Another sign is the appearance of faint inner lights behind closed eyes. At first, they may seem like flashes of color or a gentle glow, much like the soft shimmer of distant stars in a night sky. Yogananda would often say, "The beginning of seeing light in meditation is a sacred sign, a blessed message from your inner self." These lights may not yet form the clear vision of the spiritual eye, but they mark the soul's first steps towards higher perception. Alongside these sensations, the seeker's intuition begins to sharpen. Without conscious effort, you may find yourself sensing the emotions or intentions of others, understanding unspoken truths, or feeling guided by an invisible hand through life's circumstances. Yogananda described this inner knowing as a quiet wisdom arising from the soul itself. These early signs, though delicate, should be treasured. For they are the gentle knock of spirit upon the door of your awareness, inviting you to awaken to a far greater reality. As the third eye gradually awakens, one of the most beautiful and profound changes begins to take place within the seeker's own mind and emotions. Paramhansa Yogananda often reminded his students that spiritual awakening is not just about mystical visions or extraordinary powers, it is about inner transformation. And the first sign of this transformation is a deep, abiding peace that rises within, like a calm lake undisturbed by the winds of the outer world. Yogananda said, "When the spiritual eye begins to open, your thoughts, once scattered like dry leaves in a storm, will become still. The restless, racing mind that once leapt from one worry to another, chasing desires and fears, slowly begins to quiet down. You may notice in meditation that your thoughts lose their sharp edges. The endless chatter that fills your inner space softens, and moments of serene, thought-free awareness start to appear. This inner calmness naturally extends to your emotions. Feelings of anger, jealousy, and anxiety, which once easily disturbed you, begin to lose their hold. It's not that problems disappear, but your reaction to them changes. You become like a mountain, steady, unmoved, and at peace even as storms rage around you. Yogananda beautifully described this as the unshakable joy that arises from within, uncaused by any outer circumstance. Love, too, begins to transform. It shifts from being possessive or conditional to becoming expansive and unconditional. You start feeling a quiet tenderness for all living things, for strangers, animals, trees, even those who may have hurt you. Yogananda called this divine love, a love that flows not from the mind but from the soul itself. These changes are the true fruits of awakening, signs that your consciousness is gradually rising from restlessness to divine stillness. Paramhansa Yogananda spoke often about the most sacred and unmistakable sign of the third eye's awakening, the appearance of the spiritual eye. He described it as one of the most blessed experiences a seeker could have on the inner path. Yet, he was careful to remind us that it comes not through force or imagination, but as a natural result of deep meditation, inner purity, and steady, loving devotion to the divine. In deep stillness, when your breath has slowed and the mind has become serene, a wondrous sight may gently appear behind closed eyes. Yogananda described it in exquisite detail, a radiant star of silver-blue light, encircled by a ring of golden fire, set in a field of deep indigo. This is not a product of fantasy but a living, conscious light, the doorway between the material world and higher realms of spirit. At first, you may see flashes of light, or fleeting circles of color. With time and regular practice, this vision stabilizes. Yogananda advised, when you see this light, gaze lovingly into its center, and mentally merge with the silvery star within. It is through this star that the soul can travel beyond the physical body and enter higher states of awareness, tasting the eternal peace of cosmic consciousness. He explained that this vision is universal, seen by yogis, saints, and mystics throughout history, regardless of their path or tradition. It is the light of the soul, the inner sun that shines within every being, waiting patiently to be discovered. When this eye opens, one begins to perceive the unity of all life and the presence of God within and beyond all forms. It is a moment of quiet, sacred revelation, one that forever transforms the seeker's understanding of existence. As the third eye gradually opens and deepens its influence on the seeker's inner life, something extraordinary and almost indescribable begins to happen, the lifting of the veils that separate ordinary awareness from divine consciousness. Paramhansa Yogananda often spoke of this as the most sacred gift on the spiritual path, the dissolving of the illusion that we are merely this body, this mind, or this fleeting personality. Through the awakened third eye, we begin to glimpse our true, eternal nature. Yogananda explained that in these higher states of awareness, the boundaries of time and space soften. You no longer feel confined to your body. The weight of past sorrows and future anxieties gradually fades. In deep meditation, many seekers experience breathlessness, a natural state Yogananda called Kevala Kumhaka, where the breath pauses and the mind becomes utterly still. In this sacred silence, a great peace, beyond words and thoughts, begins to flood the heart. In these states, you may receive deep intuitions about the nature of life, or experience moments where you sense the presence of departed loved ones, or feel the vast, loving embrace of the infinite surrounding you. Yogananda described these as moments when the soul touches its home in God. Visions of past lives, glimpses of future events, or an awareness of the inner workings of the universe may occasionally arise, but Yogananda lovingly cautioned his disciples not to become attached to such phenomena. These are but signposts on the path, he would say. The true goal is the constant awareness of divine joy and oneness. Ultimately, these higher states of awareness awaken a deep certainty within, a knowing that you are, and have always been, a spark of the eternal light. And that light shines in everyone. The question that naturally arises in the heart of every sincere seeker is, how can I awaken this sacred third eye within myself? Paramhansa Yogananda was very clear in his teachings. This awakening is not achieved through mere curiosity or momentary effort. It is a gentle unfolding that comes through steady, devoted practice, purity of heart, and an unshakable longing for the divine. Yogananda taught that the surest way to open the third eye is through deep, regular meditation. He recommended sitting quietly, spine straight, eyes gently closed, and focusing your inner gaze at the point between the eyebrows, the seat of the spiritual eye. Without straining or forcing, simply rest your awareness there. As the breath slows and thoughts begin to settle, a subtle awareness starts to gather at this point. You might feel a soft warmth, a gentle pressure, or a sensation of lightness. He often instructed, "Do not worry if you see nothing at first. The light comes to those who persevere with calm expectation and loving devotion." Daily meditation, even if brief, builds a magnetic power around this center, drawing the energy upward from the lower chakras to the higher realms of perception. Yogananda also emphasized the importance of living a pure, simple, and compassionate life. Acts of kindness, truthfulness, and inner discipline create the right environment for the third eye to awaken. He encouraged the practice of Kriya Yoga, a sacred technique he brought to the West, as one of the most direct and effective methods for awakening the higher centers of consciousness. In time, through patient practice and deep yearning for God, this inner eye begins to open, revealing to the seeker a world of light, peace, and divine truth beyond all imagination. So, dear soul, as we come to the close of this sacred reflection, remember this truth: the third eye is not a distant mystical power reserved for saints or ancient sages. It lives within you, right now, quietly waiting for your attention, your longing, and your love. Paramhansa Yogananda often reminded us that the greatest miracle is not in seeing visions or performing wonders, but in the simple, steady transformation of the heart, from restlessness to peace, from confusion to clarity, and from separation to unity with the infinite. As you walk your path, let these teachings be a gentle light to guide your way. Be patient with yourself, be sincere in your meditation, and cultivate a heart filled with compassion and devotion. Every step you take towards inner stillness brings you closer to that sacred doorway within. If this message has touched something within you, or if you felt a quiet stirring in your heart while listening, I invite you to take a small but powerful step right now. Type in the comments, "I am ready for inner awakening." Let it be your declaration to the universe, and a gentle reminder to yourself that you are on this beautiful, eternal journey. And if you'd like to continue walking this path with me, guided by the timeless wisdom of great masters like Paramhansa Yogananda, please subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon so you never miss a new message of light. Share this video with a loved one, a fellow seeker, or someone whose soul quietly longs for peace. Until we meet again, may your days be filled with calmness, your nights with light, and your heart with the sweet presence of the divine.